Guys, so I wanted to review with you before I started going over lesson 12-10. So once again, remember with our clock, we have two hands. We have that shorter hand, which is that hour hand, and that longer hand, which is that minute hand, okay? The hour hand is the one that we're going to read the number that it points to, okay? That first hand we look at is that hour hand, and we read the number that it points to. We're either going to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. Okay, that's the only numbers we can put up in that front. 1 through 12. Okay, the hour hand, it can only go 1 through 12. And once again, with the minute hand, right now we've only talked about it being at the very top, which is o'clock, or halfway around, which is 30. Okay? And remember, when that minute hand starts to move, that hour hand slowly starts to move. And when that minute hand gets halfway around, that hour hand is halfway past the first hour. Okay? So if I look at this, I can tell that it's halfway between 6 and 7. Think about when you're 6 years old, you're not quite 7. Even when you're 6.5, you're still halfway to 7. You're not quite at 7 yet. Okay? So when I'm looking at my hour hand, it hasn't gotten to the 7 yet. It's still at the 6. And the minute hand is what I look at next that goes here, and it's halfway around. So I can say 6:30 or 6:30. Okay? When it's straight up, remember, we say o'clock. When it's halfway around, we say 30 or half past. We read this as 6:30 or half past 6. Because, I'm sorry, now this one is now 7:30 or half past 7. It's gone halfway past the 7. Okay. All right. So today's lesson, though, we're talking about to the 5 minutes. All right. We're talking about the 5 minutes, and we've been talking about this in class. And let's remember, once again, that hour hand is 1 through 12, but those minute hands, o'clock, 30, we're counting by 5s. Remember, we looked at the fact that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes between this number and this number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. So every time that minute hand moves to a new number, that's 5 minutes. Okay, when that long hand. So we just simply have to count by 5s. Okay. Simply count by 5s. So let's go ahead and look at our lesson and talk about that. All right, it tells us that Chelsea's art class starts at the time shown. At what time does her art class start? So first, remember, we want to look at the hour hand, that shorter hand. Okay, let's take a look at where it is. It's between the 2 and the 3. So we're going to say it's still at 2. It has not gotten to the 3 yet. So the hour is 2. Then we look at the minute hand. Let's look at where it is. It's pointing to the 7. So look at what you do. Put your pencil. We're going to do hops for our minute. We're going to count by 5s until we reach the minute hand. So put your pencil down. Put your pencil there. And let's count by 5s. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So the minute hand has moved 35 minutes. My hour hand, the short hand, has moved 2 hours. My minute hand, my long hand, has moved 35 minutes. It's moved 7 times, and 7 times 5 is 35. So the minutes are 35. So the art class starts at 2:35, or we can read it as 35 minutes after 2. 35 minutes after 2. Okay? Remember yesterday we talked about different ways to read the numbers. All right, so let's practice one together. Okay? It says write the time in 2 ways. Okay? Remember, the first thing I want to do is figure out the time, and then I can write it in that second way. So first, I look at think about which hand you're going to look at. You're going to look at that smaller hour hand, and it's pointed at the 11. So I'm going to come down here and write 11. That's my hour. Put my 2 dots to separate the minutes. Now remember, we want to count by 5s to find our minutes. So put your pencil on the 12 and hop and count by 5s as you hop. Ready? 5, 10. It stopped at the 2, so we're going to write 10 there. So that's how we write the time. It's 11:10. Or how many minutes after the hour? How many minutes have gone by after the hour? So how many minutes have gone by? We already know that it's 10 minutes. After what hour? After 11. Okay? Once again, write the time down here first. Then you can use this to help you figure out the second way. How many minutes past the hour? That's what the first way is asking. How many minutes after or past the hour? Okay, so you're going to do the same on 2 and 3. And then over here on 1, 2, and 3, you'll do the same thing. Write the time, then use it to help you figure out how many minutes past the hour. Figure out your story problem. You're looking for the time. Okay. How is counting minutes on a clock like counting tally marks? Think about those tally marks. 1 tally mark, 5 tally marks. Think about what we're using, how we're counting the minutes, what we're counting by. Okay, like I said, you're going to do the same thing here. Write the time, then come back and write how many minutes have gone past that hour. Okay, on the back, a little bit different. It says draw the minute hand to show the time. So they gave us the time, 9:20. We're doing the minute hand. We already have the hour hand drawn, 9. See how it's gone just a little bit past the 9? So we need to put it on 20 minutes. Remember, think about what we did. We start at the 12. We skip count till we get to the minutes, 20. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20. So that's where our minute hand should be. So we're going to draw a line, and it's going to touch the 4 because remember our minute hand is longer and touches the number. Okay? They drew the hour hand for us. We have to draw the minute hand. So we put our pencil on the 12. We count till we get to this number. 5, 10, 15, 20. And that's where we will draw our minute hand. Okay? Solve your problem to tell what your numbers, it's between where your hour hand is and where your minute hand is. Okay? And then finally write about it. Kelly sees that the longer hand of the kitchen clock points to the 1 and the shorter hand points to 7. She says the time is 1:35. Is Kelly correct? So let's think about that. She says the longer hand points to 1 and the shorter hand points to 7. She says that it's 1:35. Is she correct? Is this 1:35? Okay. If it's not, you need to say, is Kelly correct? No, Kelly is not correct. Or yes, Kelly is correct. And explain. If she's correct, tell why it's correct. If she's not correct, tell why she's not correct and what it should be. All right, guys, have a great day.